amazing this evening. Thank you, Mr. Anderson, for the introduction. Before I get started, I have actually quite a bit of bosses. Two of them are here today, and I would like to recognize them. Ms. Ross. Martha Ross, are you here? Where's Ms. Ross? Can you stand and wave to everybody? Thank you for being here. And then also I have a student board member here as well, who is a scholarship recipient, Derek Washington. Derek, please stand. Antonio's here as well. Oh my God, Antonio, I love Antonio from Manual. Antonio, thank you. Amazing. And I was actually going to shout out the DJ. He's one of my favorites in Peoria, Dr. Smith. I love him. We were at an event last night, and he'll chime in some Caribbean vibes. So that's amazing. So anyway, I'll go ahead and get started. Good evening, scholars.
Good evening.
And how are you doing today? And this is mostly for the scholars. You look exceptional tonight. You don't just look dressed up. You look prepared, you look confident. You look like the future walking into this room with purpose. Our theme this evening is strive to be your best. Anything is possible, but not alone. But tonight, it's not just a banquet, it is proof. Proof that hard work still matters. Proof that discipline still wins. Proof that excellence is still recognized. Proof when you strive, doors open. Take a moment and look around this room. You're surrounded by belief, family belief, community belief, generational belief. Somebody prayed for you. Somebody sacrificed for you. Somebody worked overtime, stayed up late, filled out the paperwork, drove you across town, checked your homework, reminded you who you are. You're not here alone. And that is why the African American Hall of Fame Museum is such an important pillar in our community. It preserves history, it honors brilliance, it lifts up stories that is too often go untold. It reminds us that excellence is not an exception, it is a legacy. The African American Hall of Fame Museum does more than celebrate achievement. It safeguards culture, it chronicles courage, it inspires the next generation, you, to see yourself in greatness. From pioneers in education, business, arts, civil rights, science, and public service, it affirms something very, very powerful, that impact matters and representation shapes possibility. Our story is not a footnote in American history. It is a foundation. The African American Hall of Fame Museum is not just honoring the past, it is investing in your future. So, let us give the board of directors and all of the partners a standing ovation. Please stand and recognize.
That's for you, Rosemary.
And remember, thank you everyone. Remember this, scholars, you're not here because of luck. You're here because you did the work when no one was watching. And that is what striving to be your best is. Striving to be your best is studying when your friends are scrolling. Striving to be your best is practicing when nobody applauds. Striving to be your best is choosing long-term success over short-term approval. Let me ask you something. If you were struggling in college tomorrow, would you ask for help? Not after failing, not after losing confidence, not after it is too late, but early, when it can still change the outcome. Hold on to that question. Because striving to be your best does not mean doing everything alone. It means having the courage to grow. Listen to the story about 6 young men and a stolen Jeep. 6 youth got into a stolen Jeep. 6. That means at least one of them knew it was wrong, right? Maybe 2, maybe 3, but no one spoke up. No one said, this isn't who we are. No one stepped out. No one chose differently. And in a matter of moments, one bad decision multiplied by 6 changed futures. And here's what struck me. They weren't born criminals. They weren't born failures. They were young people with potential, with talent, with possibility. But they were in the wrong circle. And in that moment, they chose group approval over personal character. Guys, college will give you freedom. Freedom to choose your friends, freedom to choose your habits, freedom to choose your standards. And sometimes the greatest test of your life will not be on paper. It will be this question: who are you becoming when everyone around you is choosing differently? Striving to be your best means sometimes being the one who says no. Sometimes being the one who walks away. Sometimes being the one who raises the standard. Remember, anything is possible, but not with the wrong circle. And here's a story about a scholarship that almost didn't happen. Let me tell you about a student. Strong grades, talented, capable, but when it came time to apply for scholarships, hesitation crept in. Not because he wasn't qualified, not because she was not qualified, but because of a quiet voice that whispered, what if I'm not good enough? What if they say no? What if I embarrass myself? So the application sat unfinished. Deadlines approached. Opportunities nearly passed. Until one teacher asked, why are you disqualifying yourself before anyone else has? That question changed everything. The application was submitted, and weeks later, the scholarship letter arrived. The biggest obstacle wasn't competition, it wasn't intelligence, it was not opportunity, it was self-doubt.
That's it.
Some of you almost didn't apply for this scholarship. Some of you almost counted yourself out, but someone believed in you long enough for you to believe in yourself. Remember, in college, in career, and in life, do not disqualify yourself. Strive to be your best, even when fear tries to shrink you. Here is my Bradley University story. When I chose Bradley University, I had never visited the campus. Unlike you, I did get an academic scholarship. I had not even heard of Bradley before applying. I just knew I wanted more, I knew I wanted to explore, and I knew I wanted to grow. I wanted to see what I was capable of. I had no money, like many of us here in this room when we started. I had no money. I worked while I was in high school to have enough money to put down my deposit for Bradley. I worked to purchase my books, and I had never seen snow in my life. Then I arrived in Peoria, Illinois. No proper clothing, far away from home, no family nearby, no roadmap. There were moments I questioned myself. Moments I felt alone. Moments I wondered if I had made a mistake. But here's what changed everything. I stopped pretending I had it all figured out. I found professors, I built friendships, I sought mentors, I asked questions, and that decision to ask instead of pretend shaped the rest of my life. Every morning in college, you will face a test harder than calculus. Remember the mirror test. Can you look at yourself and say, I gave my best today. I chose integrity today. I chose growth today. I chose discipline today. No one may applaud you to those choices, but you will know, and keep in mind this: character is built in private. Reputation is revealed in public. Strive to be your best, especially when no one is watching. And here's the truth about college. College is very different, as you guys know. No one will chase you to class. No one will remind you about every assignment. No one will automatically notice you're struggling. Again, asking for help is not weakness, it is a strategy. And the strongest students are not the ones who pretend. They're the ones who say, I don't understand yet. These are 4 things that will determine your success. Number 1, self-leadership. Freedom without discipline becomes distraction. Freedom without discipline becomes distraction. Manage your time, protect your focus, lead yourself. Number 2, courage to ask. Office hours, tutoring centers, study groups, advisors, use them early, not late. Number 3, the right circle. Choose friends who push you. Choose friends who are striving too. You will rise or fall to the level of your circle. Remember the slogan G? Be the one who chooses right, who chooses higher. Be the one who chooses higher. And number 4, believe you belong. At some point, you will wonder, do I really belong here? Yes. You earned your seat. You earned this scholarship. You earned this moment. Do not shrink, but rise. And here's a word about purpose. As I prepare to retire on June 30th, after 11 amazing years as superintendent of Peoria Public Schools,
Come on,
I have learned something very powerful. Titles fade, positions change, applause quiets, but impact lasts. The true measure of your life will not be your salary. It will be who is better because you lived. As you climb, lift someone, tutor someone, mentor someone, encourage someone. Strive not just for success, strive for significance. So let me ask you again, if you struggle, will you ask for help? If you fall short, will you adjust instead of quit? If you feel alone, will you build community instead of isolation? If your friends choose poorly, will you choose differently? Because here is the truth. Anything is possible, but not without effort, not without courage, not without discipline, not without people. So as I close, I would like to thank my table, and they are Dr. Akwaji, who is the Director of Professional Development for over 200 international teachers at Peoria Public Schools. So, Dr. Akwaji, please stand and say hello. Dr. Hawks, you know Dr. Hawks, Principal of Manual. This is Nicole Burrell, beloved counsel at Manual. Mr. Eric Thomas is the Principal of Knoxville. Mr. Thomas. This is Marjorie Cow. She's the Director of Communications and Community Engagement. Dr. Corey Molson is Executive Director of Primary Schools. And Principal McGinnis of Peoria High. Scholars, the 35 scholars, our message to you, you have a fine club. He's embarrassed. Our message to our scholars is you are capable, you are prepared, and you are powerful. So this scholarship is not just about money. It is momentum. Keep it going and carry it with confidence. Strive to be your best, not for applause, not for comparison, not for social media, but because the world needs what you will become. Remember, when I started at Bradley, when I arrived at Bradley with no money, no snow boots, no coats, no jackets, no roadmap, and it all worked out. It will for you too. So keep in mind again that anything is possible, but not alone. I am very proud of you. Peoria Public Schools is exceptionally proud of you. Congratulations.
Hey! Hey!
Ladies and gentlemen,